Hello, Redditors. I might seem like the worst boyfriend posting this, but I have a problem. Every time my girlfriend gets drunk, she gets drunk after a couple of beers for comparison, I instantly become irritated. I just don't know why or how, but I think I become irritated at the way she's acting and how annoying she is, even though she might be acting normally for a drunk person. At first, I thought it was a subconscious jealousy that she gets to have fun and I don't because she gets drunk really fast and I am not. But when I get drunk and she does too, I just become irritated. I don't even have to know she drank to get the feeling, oh, she is annoying, and know she's drunk. It's like I have an instinct that tells me when she's drunk, and that's when I get irritated. I'm wondering if other men experience this. We got in a fight recently because I was irritated she was drunk. I don't want to be that mad boyfriend. It just bothers me to the point that it ruins my night when she is drunk, even though I don't feel anything. Any answers, even negative, will be appreciated. Thank you. Edit. As a lot of comments suggest, I do not hate my girlfriend and I love her a lot. I still deeply care about her when she's drunk and cuddly, but most of the time I get irritated and she just pisses me off. My girlfriend rarely drinks without me, as she finds it most fun with me. The difference is she gets drunk after 3 beers while I start to feel it after 10 or more. It might be a mental issue with me. As I said, I am open to any outcome. I just want to get to the bottom of it. Story 1. Usually, when she has had a couple of glasses of wine, she starts to feel affectionate. After a bottle of wine, all inhibitions are gone. I don't complain when my wife gets a little drunk. Story 2. The only thing I know for sure is that this is not about her being drunk and is all about something deeper regarding you and your expectations of a partner. This is therapy level, not for us. I suggest you get to the bottom of it because your girlfriend deserves a boyfriend who is not going to get mad at her for drinking. Story 3. It sounds like your irritation isn't really about the drinking itself, but more about how her behavior triggers something in you. Could be discomfort, a sense of losing control, or even secondhand embarrassment. These are valid feelings, but it's important to figure out why you react this way. Not everyone is comfortable around drunk behavior, even when it's harmless. That doesn't make you a bad boyfriend, but it does mean you'll need to talk about it before it keeps turning into fights. Try to explain how it makes you feel, not as a criticism, but so she understands that it's not about her wanting to have fun, but about how you experience it. It might also help to reflect on whether you always end up being the sober, responsible one when she drinks. If that feels unfair, that could explain a lot of the resentment. You're not alone in feeling this way, but it's something you'll both need to be honest about if you want to find a balance. Story 4. I usually just get prepared to give up the withdrawals. She is a happy and intoxicated person. I think this is specific to you. Story 5. You start to feel it at 10 or more. I hope you are exaggerating. If not, you have an alcohol use disorder, and that is your actual problem. Story 6. Do you like her? I mean, don't get me wrong, my girlfriend is a bit of a handful when she is tipsy, but I find it cute and do not mind taking care of her a bit. If there is a specific behavior that she is exhibiting, have a talk with her about it. If you really cannot get over it, maybe talk to her about dialing it back. Story 7. Usually we laugh and joke around, and assuming she does not fall asleep, I often receive a very enthusiastic, intimate gesture later. If she is irritating me, I pretend she is not, because I might receive a very enthusiastic, intimate gesture later. Story 8. I would argue that my reaction would depend on multiple factors. Is she a mean or angry drunk? Does she drink all the time? Is she unable to pay her bills because of the alcohol she is buying? Is she doing dangerous things like driving under the influence? Also, some people are just annoying to be around when they are intoxicated. I have a lifelong friend who smokes, and I love him, but I refuse to be around him if he plans on getting high because he becomes insufferable. Story 9. I feel the same. Original poster. I enjoy my wife tipsy, cannot stand her drunk. I am willing to bet she feels the same about me. You can try talking to her about it. Story 10. Did someone in your family have a problem with alcohol when you were younger? Were you raised in a strict conservative household? It is definitely something triggering for you, but we cannot tell you why. Story 11. Some people are fun when they are drunk. Some are angry, Some are annoying. Nothing is wrong with noticing she is that third type. Story 12. I think she is just irritating you with or without the drink. My guess is you are not really compatible at best. At worst, and sadly I think this is probably more accurate, you are prone to getting irritated at small things already. Her being drunk just sets that off early. I do not think this is a girl is drunk problem. This is a original poster is already on a hair trigger, ready to go off problem. I hope I am wrong, but I do not think I am. Story 13. I just don't know why or how, but I think I become irritated at the way she's acting and how annoying she is, even though she might be acting normal for a drunk person. At first, I thought it was a subconscious jealousy feeling, that she gets to have fun and I don't because she gets drunk really fast when I am not. But when I get drunk and she does too, I just become irritated. I don't even have to know she drank to get the feeling, oh, she is annoying, and know she's drunk. Honestly, I think this is something you have to sort out with a therapist. This isn't normal. If you said she did something in particular or acted in a particular way that was egregious, then okay, but it seems to be just that she's drunk and having a good time. If something good happens in her life, like she gets a promotion or wins a prize, do you also get irritated? I've known people who are like this, and I think it's something they have to sort out with a psychologist. It's like I have an instinct that tells me when she's drunk, and it's when I get irritated. I'm wondering if other men are experiencing this. We got in a fight recently because I was irritated she was drunk. I don't want to be that angry boyfriend. It just bugs me to the point that it really ruins my night when she is drunk, and I don't even feel anything. The only thing that's like this for me is when I'm around my father and he's drinking. I can tell when he's had a beer. That's how sensitive to him I am. The thing is, that's because of decades of him drinking and behaving poorly. I don't like to be around him when he's drinking because of that. Do you have an alcoholic parent or anything like that? That could explain this. Like a transference, you're feeling this way about your girlfriend because it's something your parents would do. The alcohol is a trigger. Story 14. I usually host cocktail nights for her and her friends. They are fun when buzzed. I drive them all home, take my wife to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and life is good. Story 15. No, this is normal. My husband gets annoyed with me when I am drunk too, and I don't blame him. I am an annoying drunk. I think the key is frequency. Are you all getting drunk every weekend so you are annoyed every weekend? Or is this a once a month or every couple of months thing? Are you still annoyed the next day? Is it causing ongoing or long-term problems? Or is it just that you are annoyed when she is an annoying drunk and then fine afterward? Story 16. I am willing to bet you had a parent or family member who got drunk or high, and there is some subconscious trauma involved. I recommend going to therapy to address the root cause. Story 17. Good luck with this one. All I can add is every time I see two people in a relationship who are both heavy drinkers, meaning they drink to the point of being annoying or sloppy, it is literally fire and gasoline and almost never works out or leads to legal trouble. The number of times I have had to defend a domestic abuser, child abuser, or drunk driver in court almost always involves both partners being drunk or hungover at the time. Story 18. Big question for me is, do you also drink when she drinks, or do you abstain? Being unequally yoked can quickly cause stress, either in a moment or over the long term. Without knowing anything else about your dynamic, my first thought is how people change when they are even a bit drunk. Fundamentally, any change could be the difference between loving and annoying, clingy or creepy, silly or stupid. It might be that the person she is when drunk is not the person you love, no matter how you love her when sober. This can be amplified by an uncanny valley effect. The person she is when drunk is exactly like her when sober, except for something so minor you cannot really describe it, and that can drive some people crazy. My other thought is you might just not like drunk people. I am very sensitive to it myself when I am sober. I cannot stand to interact with drunk people. As for what to do about it, I cannot say, since I do not know you too. Maybe ask her to sacrifice drinking for you? Drink only when she is out with the girls? Only drink when you can drink too? Maybe exposure will reduce the issue, talking about it, maybe therapy, maybe it is a more serious issue. As for what not to do not take your anger out on her, whether she is sober or drunk, of course. Do not make an ultimatum. Do not try to punish her for it. That will most likely lead to her keeping secrets. Do not keep this issue a secret from her. Good luck with this one. From what you wrote, it seems very solvable, so I wish you the best. Story 19. I am not a man, but I used to feel this way around a boyfriend who was very flirty and disloyal when he drank. Seeing him drunk triggered me because I related it to that horrible feeling. Maybe there is something she did once while drunk that sets you off now. Story 20. I had plans for a nice romantic night with a new girl I have been seeing, but she just texted me saying she is drunk with her friends and canceled our plans to go to a dive bar with them. Her friends have wanted to meet me, so I understand, but I am still pretty annoyed. I guess I will let you know how I deal with it tomorrow. Story 21. I don't think you can help how it makes you feel. My girlfriends didn't make me irritated every time, but occasionally I got jealous when they were too friendly with another guy, which led to fights. I've been single for a while and don't miss that part one bit. Does your girlfriend own her misbehavior when drunk or deny it later? I quit alcohol, so no worries for me, but that's probably not the road you want to take, or is it? Story 22. That is part of her, and you just do not like her when she is drunk. If she is not willing to control her drinking, you need to decide if you can live with it, unfortunately. Story 23. You are just incompatible. If she irritates you when intoxicated, then what is she like when sober? Count your blessings and cut your losses. Story 24. I hate being around drunk people too, brother. It is not really about your girlfriend. Being around drunk people when you are not on their level is taxing and very annoying. Story 25. If she has never given you a reason not to trust her judgment, it may feel unsettling. You are on the right path by trying to understand why it bothers you. Fear of missing out and a desire for control are reasons you may want to address. Or you can learn not to act on these feelings, even if it means removing yourself. If she has embarrassed you or compromised her safety or yours, I could understand another perspective. I cannot say you have experienced this. Story 26. Is it possible that you have some trauma associated with alcohol? Perhaps alcoholic parents or something similar that triggers these emotions. Story 27. That is very interesting. Most of the time, we hear that when my wife or girlfriend gets drunk, she is either embarrassing or overly flirtatious. You do not seem to have either of these concerns. You seem to be upset because she is in her happy place long before you are. A question. When she is drinking, can or will she stop when she knows she has had enough? Can she take care of herself if you are not around? Story 28. Weird. Maybe take some shots or pregame so you are on her level. I don't like being around people who are twisted when I am straight either. Or maybe add some edibles to your mix so alcohol hits you easier. I consume 100 milligrams a day, so when I do drink, it hits hard. But be nice and go easy on her. Story 29. Not for a girlfriend, but I felt this with close friends. I have learned I am a babysitter. Even the smallest bit of someone not holding their alcohol annoys me, but I have learned to just laugh it off, understand they are being influenced by a drug, and enjoy their company. Story 30. My fiancée becomes an annoying person when she is drunk. However, she did not have the teenage party lifestyle that I did. She is learning many lessons at a time in life when she probably should be, not at 15. Story 31. You need to figure it out. Is it because you expect your girlfriend or wife not to get drunk? Is it because she behaves differently? Is it because of a past relationship? You need to figure it out either on your own or with therapy. It will not go away. Story 32. Those nights were the worst. I hate alcohol and seeing people drunk, but I loved my girlfriends, so I swallowed that hatred. It was difficult to watch women I cared about become more and more intoxicated. Story 33. Just don't hang out with her when she is drinking. I have a friend I don't hang out with when drinking. Well, if he drinks more than 3, I am doing something else. He knows it. I told him. Story 34. Have you tried talking to her about this? Having an open conversation with your partner usually helps to solve things. Story 35. Are there specific behaviors she exhibits that irritate you? Or is it the thought of her being intoxicated that upsets you? Story 36. When my ex-husband used to drink, I would be irritated or angry every time. Even if he wasn't being annoying, I still felt the same. The thing is, he had been difficult enough times while drunk that he no longer had to be an annoying person for me to get angry, because that feeling was now associated with the alcohol alone. I swear I used to be able to smell his blood alcohol content, a totally different smell than alcohol on someone's breath. Getting just one tiny whiff of that particular smell, and I'd be instantly upset. We're not married anymore. I know you said you love your girlfriend, but maybe you should ask yourself if you're really compatible. You clearly don't like the person she becomes while drunk, and if either one of you continues to drink regularly, honestly, it probably won't work out in the long run. My ex and I used to drink together often at the beginning of our relationship. By the end, I had nearly quit drinking because I didn't want him to start for the night if he wasn't drinking, and if he was, I didn't want to join in that chaos. I'm wondering what your ages are and how long you have been together. It might be time for some kind of change because I doubt this feeling will go away for you unless she quits drinking altogether. Story 37. Did you reflect on which part you find very annoying? What does she do that your drunk friends do not do that annoys you? Is it really something she does? Or is it because she is drunk? Just reflect deeply. Maybe she is clingy. Maybe you are unable to handle the frequent signals of touch on your skin when she is clingy. It is best to figure out which specific aspect of her being drunk is what annoys you, rather than the general idea that she is annoying when she is drunk. Story 38. What exactly annoys you about her when she is drunk? What does she start doing? Is it something you have talked to her about? Story 39. I don't know. If my boyfriend got drunk on 3 beers, it would annoy me and give me the ick, to be honest. Getting drunk in general is a bit weird, but if you are saying she gets drunk on 3 beers, yes, it is a turn-off, to be honest. It is that sort of thought like, grow up, man, 3 beers, really? But at the same time, it is not her fault and she is not causing any harm. Story 40. I think the real problem here is that you get upset because someone is being annoying. Do you not have the ability to just roll your eyes and deal with it? When you are sober, drunk people can be annoying, yes, but that fact does not necessarily need to lead to you getting upset. Story 41. I enjoy spending time with my girlfriend. I find her amusing when she is intoxicated without me. Maybe the problem is not the alcohol. Story 42. This seems like mostly a you problem, and I say that with love. My mom was a drinker, abusive, neglectful woman, and it caused me to have a really negative attitude about drunk people because the only times I'd ever been around really drunk people, they were always painful to be around. The only buffer I had was my dad. He drank, and I maybe saw him drunk 5 times in my entire life. Every time he was more the sobby, "I love you, man," kind of drunk, which was rare because he had trouble expressing that. That being said, my wife always avoided drinking around me because she is very in touch with my moods, and when she drank, she could see my reaction. So, for the longest time, she just didn't. I saw that and realized she was a person who could drink responsibly, and it made me bring focus to my own subconscious reaction and fix it. The problem wasn't with her or anyone else who drank. It was with my reaction to it. Now she'll have a few drinks a week, and she's a lightweight. So there are times she gets drunk, super rare, and I find it cute and funny. She's like a kitten, a horny, lovable kitten when she gets drunk. Story 43. I experienced this too with my ex in a good relationship that ended on good terms. I have a very anxious attachment style. When she was drinking with friends and I was not there, I became upset because I felt she was making herself vulnerable. There were thousands of scenarios in my mind about what could go wrong. I understood that this was toxic, and I tried to suppress these feelings as much as possible and not show them to her. It is important to understand exactly why you get irritated because it is not normal. Story 44. You just start to feel drunk after 10 beers? What the heck, man? How often do you drink? Are you like 350 pounds or something? That is a lot of drinking to just start to feel it. Story 45. My girlfriend becomes very aggressive and sensitive when she drinks. I love her deeply, but her drinking sometimes affects me. Remember, people do not think the way you do, and you do not think like them. Sometimes, it is best to focus on making your time enjoyable and not dwell on small details that might upset you. Have a conversation with her if it is a problem, but you might also be a bit worried about what her actions could lead to negatively. It is your relationship, and you are allowed to feel however you want. Communicate your feelings to her. Life is too short to spend time doing things you do not enjoy, so handle it accordingly. Story 46. She is either annoying, or you have unresolved insecurities about her or how others perceive her and you that are exaggerated when she is tipsy. Story 47. Really doing a long shot here, but do you have any bad memories about other women in your life being drunk? Ex-wives, relatives, etc.? Maybe her drunkenness triggers some kind of memory or memory-linked feeling. Story 48. I understand that. I have no problem with people drinking. Have fun. But it becomes extremely irritating when it's my parents, and they try to parent me while drunk. Or even when someone I know starts drinking and cannot walk on their own, even if they have a child with them. There was a time when someone fell to the ground, and I just looked at them. I didn't help them because I wanted them to realize how unhealthy they were at that moment. However, no one else felt the same, so I hid my feelings and moved on. Anyway, this issue is very important and worthy of therapy. Story 49. Women tend not to metabolize alcohol like men. I am extremely light, and it takes about 2 beers or a couple of shots of stronger liquor for me to be affected. I am small, at less than 5 feet tall. At my age, I have decided I like cooking with alcohol for the flavor, and it helps avoid the unpleasant side effects. Story 50. My wife is like you, original poster. She gets annoyed and irritated when I get drunk. I am a happy drunk, so when I drink, I crack jokes and laugh at everything. But I totally understand why she is annoyed. Nobody wants to be around a drunk moron. As for how I deal with her being drunk, she is a teetotaler, so it almost never happens. On the few occasions when she has gotten drunk, she usually passes out before becoming a problem. Story 51. If you are more intoxicated than her, it is not as annoying. You have to take turns being the adult and watching out for each other. Married 31 years. Believe me, I know. Story 52. If you need more than 10 drinks to get drunk compared to her 3 beers, I think you have a problem. Maybe you should take a break from the beer. Story 53. Your ages would help, I think. At 22, if she is getting drunk pretty often, that is normal. 32, it is not normal, and she needs to get a handle on her life. I say that because almost everyone is annoying when they are drunk, especially to sober people. I think you need to honestly get over it per episode. However, if she is getting drunk too often, leading to her being annoying too often, then she has a problem with the former and you have a problem with the latter, and she needs to reduce her drinking. Story 54. I don't think the problem is with your girlfriend. She has a couple of beers and gets affectionate. What a terrible life. Story 55. I was dealing with an alcoholic wife for the entire length of our marriage. It involved me coming home from work every day to her being blacked out drunk. We had to get a breathalyzer for her, and one day she was so drunk she actually wandered off and spent the night with a homeless man. How you deal with it, I think, just depends on the severity of the situation. Story 56. You are both really young. Learn how to communicate your feelings directly. Ask her what she thinks about your feelings. You are a couple. This is part of growing up. There will come a day when you walk away from a relationship because your partner will not make decisions with you as a priority, but this is not that day. Story 57. I guarantee you that you are also insufferably annoying when drunk. Believe me, it might not happen as much, but it happens. Maybe you don't feel it until later, but you're acting drunk before then, and she can tell by your behavior the same way you can tell with hers. Unless you also plan to quit drinking, you don't get to make this an issue. Pick your position and stick with it. Everyone is annoying when drunk, girls more so. I'm surprised you find it irritating instead of cute or endearing. Are you sure you don't have hidden resentments toward her? It's a strange reaction to have to someone you supposedly love, when they are literally just loosening up and having fun. The end result is if you don't know why you're feeling something, therapy is a good place to start. Story 58. Do you have a history of alcohol abuse in your family that you have witnessed? If you have seen a parent or family members abuse alcohol or drugs and observed the impact, you might consider that her losing control or even having drinks might be affecting you because it triggers feelings from your past. It is worth exploring. Also, 10 or more incidents sound significant. Have you had a history of bad behavior while drinking? I used to date someone like this, and it felt like him losing control over the situation when someone else was intoxicated, and he was not triggered him because of experiences he had before me with his mother growing up. Story 59. You keep saying you need more than 10 beers to feel it. That's your problem. You are an alcoholic and a jealous one at that. You are upset because you wish you could have as much fun as she does after only a few beers. That is on you, brother. Story 60. It is not your responsibility to fix another person. If her drinking is a problem, you should end the relationship and find someone without a drinking problem. Story 61. I have never had this problem with my partner. Typically, my partner can handle a volume of alcohol. However, lightweights who get drunk early usually annoy me. They often try to keep up with those who can handle alcohol and become a nuisance. My best friend is not much of a drinker. He drinks more than 2 drinks a week and feels good. I don't mind, but he does not start acting foolish. Story 62. I will go ahead and substitute irritated with angry and ask a question. Anger is something that arises in defense of something you think is good. So what do you think you are defending? Story 63. Drunk people are annoying when you are sober. That's definitely a fact. I also find my girlfriend incredibly annoying when she is drunk and I am not. I'm not sure why exactly, but it triggers something inside me, almost like I am looking after a child, and I do not like children. I think if you are quieter or not an outgoing person, then being with someone who becomes the opposite is pretty annoying. But then again, maybe she is just an annoying person when she is drunk. Story 64. I think it's funny. She thinks she is a big tough guy when she is drunk, but really she is Judy Hopps from Zootopia. Easy to anger. Story 65. It might be because she is less emotionally available when drunk. Did you grow up around people or parents who were unpredictable or drank too much? It might be a good time for therapy. Story 66. This is a sign of a problem. How deep that problem is depends on a few factors, one being how often she drinks. If going out and having drinks with friends or having drinks at home together is a big part of your or her life, and you do not like how she acts when she is drunk, it is really time to evaluate if you are truly a compatible couple. I have bad news about the answer. I understand your position. I have friends that I really enjoy being around until they start drinking, and then I cannot stand to be in the same room as them. It is not that there is anything wrong with them, just that element of their personality and behavior is not something I choose to associate with. Story 67. I convinced her she had a drinking problem by helping her understand. When she drinks, we have problems, and it finally clicked. Story 68. I move on to the next girl. This is a bright red line for me, so the first time I get the sense that they are regularly getting drunk on weeknights and similar occasions, I am out. Story 69. My wife becomes affectionate and gives oral sex enthusiastically when she is intoxicated, so I do not complain when it happens. Story 70. Have you tried being cooler, or maybe you don't actually like her drunk personality? If she is constantly drinking or it is damaging her life, it is fine to have a word about it. But this seems like a you thing. Just because she has something and you do not, does not mean you should be upset about it. If you cannot learn to be happy for your partner when they are enjoying themselves or receive something you do not, you will not make it far in relationships. A win for my partner is a win for me is how I look at it. Next time you drink together, try to enjoy yourself and not worry about the fact that she got drunk faster. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.